I feel like Halle Berry has already done this movie. Or is it just me? Welcome back, guys. I just watched the movie called Kidnap starring Halle Berry. And like I said in the beginning of the review, it basically has been done before by Halle Berry, except in the other movie it was called The Call, and she was a 911 operator in that movie. Now, before I get to like the actual review of the entire movie, I just want to talk about the intro because I feel like they nailed the intro. Like, if any of you guys out there that work in restaurants, like as a busser, a waiter, or a waitress, and you have to deal with some rude ass customers, then you'll know what I mean, because I've been there. I worked as a busser and I've seen how some customers treat our waiters and waitresses, and sometimes you just want to pour coffee on their face. Okay, a little bit too much, but you know, they nail the role of the waitress as Halle Berry portrays it on screen. But anyways, this movie is about this kidnapping situation and becomes a car chase. They're at the playground, you know, they're just having fun, they're playing Marco Polo. Halle Berry's character gets a phone call from her ex-husband. You know, they're talking about, I guess, like who gets the kid, you know, who's having more time with Frankie. But then out of nowhere, you know, Frankie goes missing, and then she sees like this lady forcing Frankie into the car. And of course, we start freaking out, you know, because shit, my kid just got kidnapped in front of my eyes. What do? Call the police and wait? No, he actually takes off chasing this car, which in a way I think any parent's instinct would be that of chasing the car, you know. But in this movie, she kind of drops her phone and then forgets to call the police. So instead, she's kind of chasing them and then telling everybody else to call 911 while she's like trailing this freaking little Mustang. And the part where she leaves her phone, I was like, oh my god, how cliche. But whatever, I was like, it's a movie, Eddie, just go along with it. I'm not gonna lie, the car chase itself, it was pretty fun. It was a lot of fun actually, because it was super fast paced and I wasn't bored at all. I actually wanted to know what was going on, like from scene to scene. You know, I wanted to know if she was gonna get closer or how she was gonna get the kid back from these crazy people. But there were a couple of times in the movie itself during the car chase where things got a little bit corny for me. Like, you don't have to tell me word by word what you're thinking. Like, I'd rather have like the actor like portray that through their emotions, or you know, like their performance or their facial expressions, instead of them like literally like telling you word by word what they're thinking. I feel like the audience will have like a better response, and it will leave us guessing or making up our own assumptions of what that person is thinking. Unlike the ending for The Call, which was pretty bad and at the same time super cliche, this one is kind of the same, but it goes a different route. It kind of goes like the opposite way that The Call went, because Halle Berry again goes for the heroic ending, and I kind of like that, because in a way, if you're a parent and you're trying to save your child from these like kidnappers or whatever, I think they pretty much nailed the scene. Now, some of the stuff that they do does get out of hand, and I'm like, okay, would you really do that? Or, you know, what would you do in that situation? And I can't really spoil it because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But some of the stuff that, you know, happens at the end, you know, it kind of just left me wondering, you know, like what happens after, you know, like there's a whole bunch of things that just like, okay, the police is involved in some way or another. But I know this is a movie, but of course there's not going to be any sequels to this because it's just a one-time movie. We've seen so many kidnapping movies at this point that, you know, that it's kind of predictable to see, you know, what kind of ending we're going to get in these type of movies. But I did enjoy the ending to this movie better than The Call. But most of the runtime of the movie is a car chase, which is actually not that boring. Like, the whole time I was like pretty interested. Some of the times I was wondering, you know, like maybe this would have ended a long time ago if, you know, she could have done something. But at the same time, you know, if somebody has abducted your kid and he has a knife to their throat, what are you gonna do? Are you willing to gamble your kid's life on, you know, trying to rear-end their car or trying to stop him? It's kind of hard to decide. Some stuff in the ending itself, I felt like it was a little bit out of reach for, you know, the character, because I felt like it was out of her comfort zone. I mean, Halle Berry in this movie goes mama bear mode. Like, she is crazy going out there for her kid, and I feel like that would be any mother or any father, you know, like that's willing to get their kid back, especially if you're like behind the people that kidnapped them. And I feel like they nailed that part, because if I had a kid and somebody took my kid in front of my eyes, I would be right behind them chasing them. But except I'll have my phone and, you know, I'll be calling the cops at the same time, like, yo, I'm chasing them, come with me or something. But yeah, guys, overall this was a pretty fun movie to watch. I would recommend it if you guys are into like thrillers or suspenseful movies, and especially if you like Halle Berry. I think it's better than The Call, so I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. But it is a scary thing to think about, because, you know, you have a kid, you're in the playground with them, and then like a 1-minute call can turn into a kidnapping situation. And you know what's crazier? That shit happens in real life, so make sure to always be aware of what your kids are doing. So guys, if you guys watch this movie, what you guys think? You know, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you like it more than The Call? Or did you hate it more than The Call? Like, what are your thoughts on this movie? Also, not that I want this to happen to you in any way possible, but like, you know, if you were in this situation hypothetically, what would you do? So with that, guys, you guys can follow me on Twitter at FMO1126. I usually post a lot of stuff there. I try to be funny and whatnot. So if you guys want to follow me on there, go ahead. Also, if you guys are new to my channel, please subscribe. It's free. So if you like this video, make sure to share it with your friends and give it a thumbs up. And as always, guys, stay tuned.